Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Previous lesson we create our first migrations and today we're going to start our repositories. Add folder, abstract and concrete. Guys, this is the heart of our project. So all data and CRUD operations will use this section to save, delete or update our data. Okay? Let's create a class here. GenericRepositories. Add an interface here. IGenericRepository as it's clear. Sorry, okay. Public interface. Okay, IGenericRepositories. So it's going to be generic. Why it's going to be generic? What's that generic means, by the way? So while we're creating our methods, we're going to use CRUD operation commands. So every command needs to be related its table and its properties, right? So I'm going to write a generic code here. So if I add a product, it's going to do our CRUD operations related to products. If I add here contacts, and it's going to be related about contacts. So I'm going to write a one code and I can use those codes for all of my CRUD operations and entities. You will understand when I finish my coding. Let's jump into the coding now. There is a variable which is called t. This is a common name. You can use whatever you want. F, G, H, L, whatever you want, you can write here. But the common name is t. And it's going to be where t class. And this t is going to be class. Do you remember, guys? The beginning of our lesson, we did the base entities and we create an I base entity and base entity. So we add class here and let's have a look. Oops, sorry. Class means those class. But if I would like to add base entity as well, I couldn't add base entity here. So there is an error. You see that the red line? So it means the C# doesn't allow to inherit two different class at the same time. Instead of that, you can add one class and interfaces. And it doesn't matter how many interfaces you add. So we create an interface of base entity to use it here and other interfaces. Let's use it here now. Base entity. You see that? There's no problem with that. Okay, perfect. Now let's go to the generic repositories, public, and it is going to be variable and inheritance from I generic repositories with the t variable where t class and I base entity. So what is the problem? Yeah, all good. Yeah, compiler now working very good. Yeah, okay. Now let's add our constructors. Private read only. So if we would like to add anything to our database, we need our context. So I'm going to add our context now. App db, oops, sorry, app db context context. And why we get that error? Ah, it's all good. Yeah. Let's create a constructor now. Generate constructor. Perfect. Now we can add our CRUD operations here. Let's start one of it, and I'm going to add something different as a kind of shortcut anyway. Public. Let's start with the at public t, sorry, yeah, public t at async or at entity. You can give whatever you want. You are free to give any name you want, guys. Async. By the way, I'm going to make our methods async. I'm going to use task async twins because if you're using an Entity Framework Core and ASP.NET Core, if you don't use the async methods, your coding, your program is going to work much more slower than normal one because um, asynchronous commands, that's why they created for to make your commands and system very fast. Okay, so I'm going to use them. Public async task, so we wrap with the task or returning value at entity async, and I need a t value entity. Alright, now I'm going to await context db. What was the command? db set? No. What was that? Context. Let me have a look my previous project. Hold on, guys. db set context set. Oh no, db set, just set. That's why I forget. Yeah. Yes, set t value and add what we're going to add entity and return entity. What is the problem here? Let's have a look. It's working. Add entity to entity. So I guess we shouldn't make a return here. Must be void. But why we have error message here? Multiple parallel operations being run with DB content and supposed to execution and queries and abstraction for multiple threads. Is there any multiple command here? Let's have a look here. DB set at async. Yeah, we're using async, but we're using normal add. That's the problem. Yes, that's all good now. Alright, guys. Let's do the update now. Public wait update t entity. Why I'm not using a task async? Because update the working method of update is the same as async methods. So we don't have to make them async, and there is no async update method anyway, so you couldn't do this. Actually, there is a way to do that, but it's unnecessary. So let's continue with the normal way, which is the best one. It came automatically, yeah, perfect. Public wait delete t entity context set update and delete work same working method, so these two is not async task. Remove, yeah, and all good. We do add update delete, yeah, we have a listing method now, public async task, so we have to return a value, which is, I would like to do it iQueryable t, and this is get all list context set t. mm, let's have a look at our listing methods. Yeah, that's all. It's not tracking and it's queryable. As no tracking, I'm gonna explain everything what I'm doing right now as queryable. Return I queryable. No, sorry guys. Yeah, this is the return. And await. No, this is not async. Sorry about that. iQueryable is not a asynchronous method, so this is not async. Alright. Before start explaining this iQueryable is not working as and SQueryable, I'm going to change a little bit a small thing. So you see that I'm always using set t, and set t. So this is the copy and paste context dot set and t. So I am going to add here db set tdb set, and I'm going to define it context. Actually, I'm going to copy paste from here, so I don't need to write every time this code block. I can use just that one. Let's have it. Let's try. You see that there is no error message. Okay, so when it comes to the iQueryable, guys, if you use list or IEnumerable, something like that, you have to use at the end of your code to list or to list async, something like that. When if you use those commands, I mean like to list, your code straight away sent to database to um, take data what you're looking for. But in this phase, we don't need to go direct database. We just creating our query. So if we just imagine, what if what we're gonna do, add some extra business, extra logic to this command. So we go to the database, get the data, and we did our logic, and we go back to database again, get data again. So we go 2 times, 3 times to database, and it makes our program application makes slower. So this is the unacceptable things. So we write our codes as queryable and as not tracking. So it's not tracking on the memory. So it's working faster, and it's um, written as an queryable. So when we go to the service layer, if we need any logic, any business in our codes, so we can add it and we can continue and we can send our commands just one time to database. So it makes our application more faster. Okay, let's continue. And we finished iQueryable, get a list. What is there any left? Yeah, we need to define where command public. I guess this one is iQueryable as well. Where what was the code function? No, not function. Expression function table predicate. It came automatically anyway. Return db set where predicate. Yep. Let's make a double check. Expression table expression. There's that expression. Perfect. And we need a find method. We need to add find method as well. Public async task t. The return value is t because we are looking for an entity with an ID. By the way, why didn't add here async? No, this is not async. Yeah, this is async. Async. Yeah, this is async. This is async. Get entity by ID async. Get all entity list. Update entity. Delete entity. Yes, perfect. What's the problem here? DB context. Private read only. Did we add here as well? Private, no, read only. So what's the problem here? Hmm. We didn't finish our code yet. Of course we get error messages. Okay, let's make it read only. Oops. Okay, alright, perfect. Get entity by ID, integer ID, and return db set find. Is it just find or find by ID? Find async. Await. Find async. Yes, that's correct. And ID. All good. I guess we're finished here, guys. And before forget, I'm gonna add here new. So it means this is if we would like to create a generic repository with the new tag, so we can use it. That's why we use new tag here. All right, let's outlining collapse definitions. It's easy to when it collapses them, it becomes easier to read, guys. I suggest you to do like that. I'm always open using and the constructor, and rest of them is collapsed. Now we're going to add our interface section. So this is the place where we define our codes. Normally we should write our commands here, methods here, then we can define them. But it's no problem, you can do both way. You can do which one easy for you. Doesn't matter too much. This one, yep. And the last one. Yes, all done. And it must be nibblable as well. Alright, okay. Our generic repositories is done for now. Let's finish this lesson here now, and we're going to carry on with the unit of works next lesson. Then after we finish unit of work, we will jump to the service layer. Alright guys, take care of yourself and see you later on next lesson.